Then the Imam al-Barbahari, rahimahullah, moves on to a further point and said, وَالرِّضَى بِقَضَاءِ اللَّهِ. Point number 53, وَالرِّضَى بِقَضَاءِ اللَّهِ. And to be pleased and satisfied with the decree of Allah. Shaykh Fawzan said, وَالرِّضَى بِقَضَاءِ اللَّهِ, having iman in al-qada wal-qadar, having iman, true faith in Allah's preordainment and pre-decree. This is a rukn, this is a pillar from the pillars of iman, from the 6 pillars of iman, which are an tu'mina billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wa tu'mina bil qadari khayrihi wa sharrihi. The 6 pillars of iman, as mentioned by Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, are that you have iman, you have true faith in Allah and in His angels and in His books and in His messengers. And likewise the mention of, that doesn't occur here in the printed version, in the last day, and that you have true faith in al-qadr, pre-decree, the good of it and the bad of it. In a footnote they mention, this is reported by Muslim as hadith number 8 from a hadith of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. This is a part of the famous hadith of Jibreel, where Jibreel alayhi salam, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the form of a man and asked him about Iman and Islam and Ihsan, the signs of the hour, the famous hadith. And this was the answer that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave when he was asked, what is Iman, what is true faith? And he replied that it is that you truly believe in Allah and in His angels and in His books and in His messengers and in the last day, and that you truly believe in pre-decree, the good of it and the bad of it. Shaykh Fawzan said, explaining the point here, belief in pre-decree, he said, and it is that you believe that Allah has preordained all things and pre-decreed them, He the perfect and most high, always, and that He wrote them in the preserved tablet. If everything will occur, He decreed it would occur, and He wrote it down in the preserved tablet, and He created it and brought it into existence by His mashi'ah, by His wish, He the perfect and most high. And having iman in pre-decree and preordainment covers 4 matters, 4 levels, literally 4 levels. And the Shaykh gives these 4 levels of pre-decree. These 4 things, these 4 levels, 4 matters, that it's essential that a person has to truly believe in pre-decree, correctly believe in pre-decree. So it includes 4 levels, 4 matters. The first level is the level of al-ilm, the level of knowledge, which is that Allah knew by His eternal knowledge all things before they came into existence. And the second level is to have iman, to have true faith, that Allah wrote all things down in the preserved tablet before they existed. He the Most High said, مَا أَصَابَ مِن مُصِيبَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ نَبْرَأَهَا إِنَّ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرٌ. Surah Al-Hadid, 57th Surah, ayah 22. With the explanation. No calamity befalls upon the earth, nor in yourselves, except that it was written in a book before we brought it about. Indeed, that is easy for Allah. So in the third level, Shaykh mentioned the first 2 levels, the level of Allah's knowing everything, knowledge, Allah's knowing everything. Second, al-kitaba, Allah's writing everything down, so it's not to occur. Thirdly, he said, the third level is iman, to have true faith, that Allah willed and wished these newly occurring events, the level of mashi'ah. Allah wished and willed, whatever would occur, would occur. He said, to have iman, that Allah wished and willed these newly occurring events. Disbelief and true faith obedience and disobedience, righteousness and wickedness, good and evil. All of that was willed and wished by Allah. By His will relating to the creation, His irada al-kawniyya. By His will that relates to the creation. So nothing occurs within His sovereignty except that which He wills. However, He willed the good, and He willed Iman, and He willed evil for a purpose. For a purpose. He willed evil will come about as well for a purpose, for a hikmah, for a wise purpose. As a trial and a test. And why did Allah will that evil things which are evil with regard to respect to creation, they should occur? He said, for a wise purpose, as a trial and as a test. So Allah willed that which is good, and He loves it and is pleased with it. And He willed that which is evil, but He does not love it, and He is not pleased with it. However, He willed it to occur for a wise purpose, and in order to test and to try. And if there were nothing except good, then there would be no distinction for anybody, and there would be no test and no trial. All of the people would be people of good then. And if there were nothing except evil, then there would be no distinction for anyone in performing righteous deeds. Shaykh Fawzan said, so this gives the result that Allah tries His servants to make clear the good from the foul, and the believer from the disbeliever. And it is a trial and a test which He, the Perfect and Most High, brings about for them. And He did not create these things without purpose. So that's the third level, that whatever occurs, it occurs with the wish and will of Allah. Allah willed it to occur. The fourth level, the Shaykh said, is al-khalq wal-ijad, creation and bringing into existence. And whatever happens, Allah is the one who created it and brought it into existence. He said, and everything that occurs, then Allah is its creator. And the actions of the servants, the actions of the people, are created by Allah. And they are actions done by the servant. They are created by Allah, the Majestic and Most High. Allah, the Majestic and Most High, says, Allahu khaliqu kulli shay, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in wakil. Surah Az-Zumar, the 39th Surah, Ayah 62. With the explanation, Allah is the creator of everything. And He is the trustworthy disposer of all affairs. Shaykh Fawzan said, and He, the Perfect and Most High, says, وَهُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ الْعَلِيمُ. Surah Yasin, the 36th Surah, Ayah 81. With explanation, and He, Allah, is the all-knowing Creator who creates repeatedly. Shaykh Fawzan quotes a further ayah and said, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Surah As-Safat, the 37th Surah, ayah 96, with explanation. And Allah created you, and whatever deeds you do. Shaykh Fawzan said, so they are things created by Allah, the Majestic and Most High, I mean the people's deeds, the deeds that they do, from good or evil. Their deeds are things created by Allah, the Mighty and Majestic. And they are actions done by the servants, and things earned by the servants, by their own choice and will. They're not things that the servants are forced to do. No one can say that Allah created them, therefore the servants are forced to do them. No. They're created by Allah, but the servant has a choice. They have free will. And by their choice and free will, they do those deeds, and they earn those deeds. And the Shaykh said, So the believer, the true believer, he believes in these four levels: al-ilm, wal-kitaba, wal-mashi'a, wal-irada, al-khalq, wal-ijad. These four levels with regard to pre-decree, the believer believes in them. The level of knowledge, and the level of writing, and the level of wish and will, and the level of creation and bringing into existence. Then the Shaykh said, and then the believer is pleased and satisfied with pre-decree and preordainment when calamities occur. So he does not become extremely annoyed. He does not become annoyed and does not become vexed. He stops himself, he withholds himself from annoyance, and he withholds his tongue from complaining to other than Allah, and he withholds his hand from striking the cheeks and tearing the openings of the garments. So this is being pleased and satisfied with the preordainment and pre-decree. That you know أنما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. Shaykh quoted the hadith. It is that you know, being pleased and satisfied with pre-decree is that you know that whatever befalls you was never going to miss you, and whatever misses you was never going to happen to you. Just as the Prophet ﷺ said, and Iman will not be completed except with this. In the footnote they mentioned with regard to this hadith, that you know that whatever strikes you was never going to miss you. Whatever misses you was never going to come upon you. They mentioned in the footnote, this hadith is reported, obviously being part of the hadith, part of the famous hadith, is reported by Imam Ahmad in the Musnad, and Abu Dawud in his Sunan, and Ibn Majah in his Sunan, from a hadith of Ubadah ibn as-Samit radiallahu anhu, and declared authentic by Ibn Hibban and by Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab in his book At-Tawheed. As a side point, also declared Sahih, authentic by Shaykh al-Albani likewise. And just briefly before finishing then, from the explanation of Shaykh Ahmad al-Najmi, that's why Shaykh Fawzan ends the explanation of that point. As for the explanation of Shaykh Ahmad al-Najmi, rahimahullah, then he said, الرضا بقضاء الله, being pleased and satisfied with that which Allah has decreed should occur. This is a tremendous level. And what is meant by what is ordained should occur here, it is that it means that which a person has no action himself in bringing about, such as sickness, illness, and health, being rich or being poor, and death, and all of the calamities that occur, that which strike the person. And that's what's meant here by having being pleased and satisfied with that which Allah has decreed should occur. Like these things, the person doesn't earn by himself, they happen to him. Illness or good health, death, poverty, richness, so on. Calamities that occur, Shaykh said. So the people are divided into two categories with regard to them. Or it is to be said that the servant, the believer, the servant here, there are two states that he can have in this case. One of them is higher than the other. In the believer, when he's struck with a calamity, one of these calamities, he'll adopt one of two stances. One of them is higher than the other. The first of them is al-rida, what's mentioned here, al-rida, being pleased and satisfied with that. And it is the highest condition. The highest condition is that the calamity strikes, the person is satisfied with it, pleased and satisfied. Such that he is pleased with whatever Allah has decreed to occur. Allah the Mighty and Majestic. Whatever He has decreed for you. And whatever provision He has given you a share of. And with whatever calamities He has ordained for you. So being pleased and satisfied with these decrees which strike the servant coming from Allah. These are things which come purely from His decree. Neither the person himself nor anyone else can repel them. And being pleased with these decrees is a tremendous level. And it is an honourable state of the soul, such that the servant is hoping for the reward that will come about as a result of that calamity, after it strikes him. And he has patience, and is pleased with it, and he thinks only about the reward. He is pleased and satisfied with it, thinking of the reward for having patience upon it, and being pleased with it. He said, such that if he were to be given a choice between receiving the reward for it, or that calamity passing away, not occurring, then he would choose the reward instead. That's the first and the highest level. If he actually had a choice in the matter, you can have the calamity strike you, and you can have the reward for being patient upon it and being pleased, or not have the calamity strike. Which would you choose? Then he would truly choose the first. He would choose that the calamity strikes him, he has patience, and he gets the reward. That's what he would want. That's the highest level. That's the level of al-ridha, being pleased and satisfied. Then the Shaykh mentions the second level of the believer. He said, and if he is not from the people of ridha, those who are actually pleased with it, then at least let him be from the people of sabr. People have patience with it. People have patience upon it. This is the second level. So he still has patience when that is decreed to happen to him. So he bears it, hoping for reward for it. He's not fully happy like the first level. That was pleased and happy with it. Hopes for a reward of that. Now the second level, but the least, the second level, he has patience upon it and hopes for a reward for that patience. And in submission to the decree and the ordainment, so Allah the Mighty and Majestic said, وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. Surah Al-Baqarah, the second surah, ayah 177. With the explanation, those people who have patience, those believers who have patience upon extreme poverty and illnesses and upon at the time of fighting, they are the ones who are true, and they are the ones who are dutiful to Allah, who are taqwa. Likewise the Shaykh said, and there occurs in the hadith, if Allah loves a people, He puts them to trial. So whoever is pleased, then Allah's pleasure is for him. And whoever is angry, then there is anger for him. And Allah is the one who grants success. In the footnote, they mention this hadith reported by Tirmidhi and Ibn Majah from a hadith of Anas and Imam Ahmad, also reported as a hadith of Mahmud ibn Labid, slightly different wording. The Shaykh indicates that Shaykh Fawzan authenticates the hadith. And then Shaykh Ahmad moves on to a final point here. He said, a point of note, it is not permissible to be pleased and satisfied with sins. And this is with regard to things that happen, the disasters that strike, calamities that strike a person. He said, it is not permissible to be pleased and happy with sins, nor to use free decree as an excuse for them. Rather, it is obligatory to strive to remove them and to stop them. And Allah the Most High says, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Surah Al-Imran, the third surah, ayah 110 onwards, with the explanation. That you are the best nation brought out for mankind. You truly believe, you are the best nation brought out for mankind. You command the good and you forbid the evil. And you truly believe in Allah. He said, and the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever amongst you sees an evil, let him change it with his hand. And if he is not able, then with his tongue. And if he is not able, then with his heart. For that is the weakest of Iman. Hadith reported by Muslim. And the Shaykh gave an example. He said, and if it can be taken, it can be imagined, that the disbelievers occupy a land from the lands of the Muslims. Is it permissible that we should just say, this is a matter pre-decreed, and then be silent? Leave it at that. And not strive to remove it, this evil, until we free the Muslims in their lands, so that they are at peace from being overcome by the disbelievers. The answer is, it's not permissible for us to just be silent about that. nor that we should be pleased and happy with it, nor just have patience upon it. And Allah is the one who grants success.